Welcome back, listeners. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. Today, we're diving into the world of Culpa Mia.
Ooh, Culpa Mia. I'm intrigued already.
Yeah, we've got some excerpts from the actual novel, and it's going to be juicy.
I love it when we get to go deep like this, really get to know the characters.
Exactly. And speaking of characters, this excerpt introduces us to Noah and Nicholas right off the bat.
Noah and Nicholas.
Yeah, and right away, you can tell they're not going to get along.
Really? What's the vibe?
Well, Noah, the new stepsister, she's
Mhm.
tough, independent, not exactly thrilled about being thrown into this life of luxury.
Ah, the classic fish out of water story. Love it.
Yeah, and Nicholas, her stepbrother, he's well, he's kind of the opposite. Super privileged, reckless. You can just tell he's used to getting his own way.
Oh, so there's definitely some tension there.
Oh yeah, big time. Their first meeting is electric.
Can you give me an example?
Well, like right away, Nicholas is driving like a maniac.
Ah.
Noah calls him out on it.
And he doesn't take that well, I'm guessing.
Not at all.
Hmm.
He ends up leaving her stranded on this dark, deserted road.
Wow. Okay, so he's not just a spoiled rich kid. There's some real darkness there.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think that scene really highlights the power dynamic between them.
How so?
Well, Nicholas leaving her stranded like that, it's a power move.
Oh.
A way of showing her who's in control.
Oh, totally. It's almost like a punishment for daring to challenge him.
Exactly. And then later we get this scene at a party, and it's complete sensory overload. Loud music, crowds of people. The author doesn't hold back on the details.
Ooh, I can almost feel it just listening to you describe it.
Yeah, and it's in this chaos that Noah meets Zach, who at first seems like a pretty nice guy.
Ah, the classic nice guy character. I'm already suspicious.
You should be, because things take a turn, and let's just say he shows his true colors pretty quickly.
So, not so nice after all, huh?
Not even close.
Interesting. So we have Noah stuck between these two very different but equally problematic guys. What does she do?
Well, she punches Nicholas. She punches him right in the face.
Wow. Okay, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, it's a huge moment. It's like she's finally pushing back against all the pressure and control that's been building up.
Right. It's like she's saying, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to let you control me.
Exactly. And the way Nicholas reacts is really interesting, too. He goes from this reckless party animal to this really calculated, menacing presence.
Now that sends shivers down my spine.
Right? It's like you get a glimpse of the real Nicholas underneath the facade. And it's scary.
So he has this dark side. But what triggers this shift?
Well, the excerpt ends with Noah drinking something given to her by a stranger, and Nicholas completely freaks out.
What could be in the cup that's got him so terrified?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's such a cliffhanger. But it makes you think about the kind of world Nicholas inhabits. Like a simple drink could be so dangerous.
It definitely raises the stakes, and it makes me wonder what secrets Nicholas is hiding and what lengths he'll go to protect them.
Ooh, good point. And we'll have to wait until the next part to get some answers, I guess.
The suspense is killing me.
Me too.
It's a world where you can't even take a drink without looking over your shoulder.
Right. And I can't help but think this whole cup incident is tied to Noah's past, too.
Her history with violence. How so?
Well, the excerpt mentions she's always had to fight back. Never been one to back down from a challenge.
Which makes her punching Nicholas even more understandable. She's not just some spoiled rich kid throwing a tantrum.
Exactly. She's reacting based on her own experiences, her own survival instincts.
But in this new world, those instincts could backfire on her.
Oh, that's a good point. Like if she's used to dealing with problems with her fists, she might not realize how dangerous these people can be.
Right, and Nicholas's reaction to the drink, that fear, it really underscores the high stakes.
Totally. And it makes me wonder, could Noah's past actually put her in more danger in this new world?
It's definitely a possibility.
It's like she's walking a tightrope, and one wrong step.
And it makes the setting even more important.
Oh yeah, the author really nails the atmosphere.
This world of luxury and privilege, but with those hints of darkness underneath.
It's almost like the setting is a character itself, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. This world of wealth and power with its own set of rules and hidden dangers.
And seems like everyone is playing a part, wearing a mask.
But you can sense the cracks starting to show, the pressure building.
It's like that calm before the storm.
And with Noah and Nicholas, that storm's gonna be a hurricane.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
This excerpt does such a great job of setting up their conflict. You know things are going to explode between them.
It's like a ticking time bomb.
And speaking of bombshells, That ending. What happens to Noah? What's in that cup? What's Nicholas hiding?
So many questions.
I know, right? The author really leaves us wanting more.
It's like we've only seen the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so compelling.
We get just enough information to be completely hooked.
And totally invested in these characters. I can't wait to see what happens next.
It really makes you appreciate how much the author can pack into just a small excerpt.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah,
it's just a taste, but it leaves you wanting the whole meal.
Right. And it's not just about the plot, it's about the characters, too.
Totally. Like Noah, she's such a firecracker.
I know. Not your typical damsel in distress.
Not even close. She's strong and independent.
Yeah.
And she's not afraid to stand up to anyone.
Even if that means punching her stepbrother in the face.
Well, yeah, he kind of deserved it.
True, true. But it just shows you she's not going to back down from a fight.
Exactly. And then there's Nicholas. So much mystery surrounding him.
Right. Like, what's his deal? What's he hiding?
And why is he so terrified of that drink Noah was given?
Yeah, that whole thing just screams danger.
It's like we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg with him.
And the setting, too, this world of wealth and privilege.
Oh, yeah, it's so glamorous on the surface.
But you can tell there's something darker underneath.
Like all those secrets and lies are just waiting to explode.
It's like a powder keg, just waiting for a spark.
Exactly. So much potential for drama and romance.
Ooh, yes. I can't wait to see how their relationship develops.
Me too. That push and pull between them is so intense.
So, to sum it up, we've got a tough and independent heroine.
A brooding and mysterious hero.
A setting that's both glamorous and dangerous.
And a plot that's full of twists and turns.
What more could you ask for?
I know. I'm completely hooked.
Me too. And on that note, I think we've given our listeners plenty to chew on.
We have. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Culpa Mia. And be sure to come back for more.
We'll be here. Ready to dive into the next chapter?
Right, let's jump right into this deep dive. We're going to be focusing on a scene that's, well, tense is an understatement.
Definitely tense.
Yeah, and full of conflict between these two characters, Noah and Nicholas. A party, a whole lot of secrets. Should be interesting.
Yeah, well, first of all, you've got these two personalities that clash so much.
Right.
You've got Noah, who's independent, like fiercely independent.
Strong-willed, yeah.
Strong-willed. And then Nicholas, he's got this whole mysterious aura. Wealthy background, complicated past.
Yeah, and you get the feeling that there's something more there that we haven't uncovered yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so picture this. We're at this party. It's going full swing. And then Noah is, get this, drugged.
Oh, wow.
With burundanga.
Yeah, burundanga. That's,
Not good.
no, that's scary stuff.
Yeah, for those who aren't familiar, it can render someone completely helpless.
Right.
Basically susceptible to, well, anything, really, or anyone's suggestion.
So this is dangerous territory.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's Nicholas who finds out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he's not exactly fond of Noah, as we know,
Okay.
but his reaction, intense.
Okay.
Like he's totally enraged.
Oh.
Takes down the guy who did it, just like, boom, right there.
So he's got this protective side then.
Yeah, it's almost like a side of him we haven't seen before, this protectiveness. Even though, I mean, he doesn't like her.
Right.
What do you think triggers that? I mean, where does that come from?
Well, I mean, this is the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly wanting to keep his distance from Noah. He wants to keep his life separate from her and all the mess that she seems to bring, at least from his perspective.
Right.
But there's something else going on. There's something deeper. Is it guilt? Is it something from his past that's, well, we just don't know yet, but it's there?
Yeah, it's like he's compelled to act this way, even though it goes against everything he seems to believe in.
Exactly. It's a contradiction to how he normally acts.
Right. And now, get this, he ends up taking care of her, having to deal with this whole situation,
Oh, wow.
keeping it all hidden from their families. Talk about pressure.
Whoa, yeah, big time.
It's a forced alliance if I've ever seen one.
Right.
And, I mean, knowing Noah, she's not going down without a fight.
Of course not. I mean, this is Noah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's going to be suspicious. She's going to be defiant.
Rightly so. I mean, she doesn't trust him.
You know, and why should she, right?
Exactly.
He's someone who, well, let's just say he hasn't exactly been there for her in the past. So it's a mess, a total mess.
Yeah.
We've got this clash of personalities, this crazy situation, and this whole mystery surrounding Nicholas.
Yeah, lots of layers here.
Layers, exactly. But it gets even more interesting because Noah, well, under the influence of the drug, starts to, I don't know, show a side of herself that we haven't seen before, like a vulnerability, She's scared of the dark, being alone, all this stuff she'd never normally admit.
Wow, so that tough exterior is cracking a bit.
It is. And how do you think Nicholas reacts to all this? Mr. I'm too cool for school, Nicholas.
I mean, yeah, he's not exactly Mr. Sensitive, is he?
No, he's not.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He actually shows this compassion and understanding.
Huh.
He comforts her, tells her she's safe. It's actually a moment of, I don't know, genuine connection.
Okay, so this is shifting things. This is changing the dynamic.
It is. And then, boom, another twist. They both have this matching tattoo.
No way.
Yes, a figure-8 knot.
Okay.
What are the chances?
That's crazy.
I know, right?
But, I mean, it's a powerful symbol, right? I mean, it's not just a random tattoo.
No.
It represents strength, you know? An unbreakable bond.
And it makes you wonder if their fates are somehow intertwined.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact they both have it, it's got to mean something.
There's a connection there, for sure. Deeper than they even realize, probably.
So we've got this dangerous situation,
Right.
this forced alliance, the clashing personalities,
Yeah.
moments of vulnerability, and now this mysterious tattoo.
Yeah.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is like a puzzle, almost. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I mean, think about it. This shared experience, this brush with danger, could this be the thing that changes everything between them?
Yeah.
Could this be the start of something unexpected? Keep those questions in mind as we keep going.
Definitely. Lots more to explore. So we left off with that tattoo reveal. Like, wow, they have matching tattoos.
Right.
Noah and Nicholas, who, well, they're not exactly best friends. And it's a figure-8 knot.
Yeah, it definitely makes you rethink things. Like everything we thought we knew about them, their relationship.
Totally.
I mean, we're so used to seeing them just fighting, disagreeing, all that. But now this changes things.
Yeah, like maybe there's something more there than we realized. Some connection, some shared history that we don't know about yet.
Right. It goes deeper than just, not getting along.
And it's like this whole situation, this whole mess with the drugging and everything, it's like peeling back the layers.
Exactly. Like we're seeing something real underneath all that tension.
Yeah,
and it's not just the tattoo, right? Think about how they've both reacted.
Yeah.
Nicholas, I mean, he's suddenly all protective. Which, I mean, hello, that's not the Nicholas we thought we knew.
Right. Mr. Aloof has gone and done something unexpected.
Totally. And Noah, even though she's fighting him every step of the way, she's letting herself be vulnerable around him.
Which, I mean, that's huge for her.
Yeah, it's like we're seeing these cracks in their armor, these glimpses of, well, who they really are underneath it all.
Makes you wonder if they're starting to, I don't know, see each other differently.
Right. Like maybe they're realizing there's more to the other person than they thought. And I mean, all this is happening while they're both freaking out about the drugging, trying to hide it from everyone.
Let's go about pressure.
It's a pressure cooker for sure. And that kind of intensity, well, it can either bring people together or completely tear them apart.
So are they like constantly at each other's throats then?
Well, there's definitely still friction. I mean, Noah, she's having a hard time with all this. Like, she's trying to understand how this Nicholas, the one who's helping her, is the same Nicholas who, well, hasn't exactly been a great guy in the past.
Yeah, I can see
That
it.
she throws it all back at him, Like, she blames him for her being vulnerable in the first place.
Which, I mean, she's not wrong.
Right, it's raw. It's honest. It's her way of dealing with, well, with everything that's happened.
And how does he handle it? Because, well, patience isn't exactly his strong suit.
And that's what's so interesting. He doesn't get all defensive. He doesn't lash out. He actually listens.
Whoa.
Yeah, he actually acknowledges her pain. He gets that she's angry, that it's coming from a place of fear.
Wow, okay.
And he even admits that, yeah, he messed up in the past, that he wasn't there for her when she needed him.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a lot of, I don't know, maturity, self-awareness.
Totally. And it shows just how much this whole experience is changing him. He's not just trying to make her feel better, he's actually trying to understand her.
So is this like the start of something real then between them?
Well, it's too early to say for sure, but there's definitely potential now. They've seen these sides of each other they didn't know existed.
Right, like vulnerability, support, all that.
And they're both trying to figure out what that tattoo means, that symbol of a bond, when right now, well, they're not exactly bonded.
Yeah, it's like they're at a crossroads.
Totally. Like, do they go back to how things were, all that distance, all those assumptions about each other?
Or do they try something different?
Exactly.
And, I mean, whatever they choose, it's going to have a huge impact on them, on their relationship.
It's a cliffhanger, for sure. And that's what makes the story so good. It makes you want to know what happens next, how they deal with all this.
It does.
And, that's the power of a good story, right? It makes you think, makes you feel.
Totally. So what do you think happens next? I mean, do they embrace this connection, or do they just go back to fighting? All right, so things are getting pretty intense for Noah and Nicholas. It's like they've got all this baggage, all this history between them,
Right.
and then this tattoo, it just throws everything for a loop.
It does. And I think it's the author's way of saying, hey, there's more to these two than you think.
Yeah, totally. It's like they're at this point where they can either hold on to all that anger, all that resentment,
Right. All that past stuff.
or they can take a chance and see where this whole unexpected connection thing goes.
And I think what's interesting is it's not just about like romance,
Right.
I mean, that figure eight knot, it symbolizes strength, a bond.
An unbreakable bond. Yeah.
Exactly. So it could be friendship. It could be like a partnership. It could be something way bigger than just them.
And I mean, that's a powerful message, right? This whole idea of connection, how it can change you, especially when you're forced to face something difficult together.
Totally. It's like those experiences, the ones that push you out of your comfort zone, they make you see things differently.
You see yourself differently, you see other people differently,
Yeah.
everything changes.
And so what do you think our listeners should take away from all this? From Noah and Nicholas's crazy story.
Well, I think it's a reminder that, first impressions, they can be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
We build these walls around ourselves because we've been hurt, or we have these ideas about who people are.
And who we're supposed to be.
Exactly. But sometimes it takes something like this, something that shakes things up, to break those walls down.
And then you see what's really there, the complexity, the layers.
Because we all have those layers, right? Those parts of ourselves we hide.
Absolutely.
And it's often the unexpected encounters, the ones that make you question everything, that allow those parts to come out.
And I mean, that can be amazing. You can find new friends, new allies. You can even grow as a person.
It's like you realize you're capable of more than you thought. So I guess what we're saying is embrace those unexpected moments. The ones that challenge you, make you think differently.
Yeah, because you never know what might happen.
Exactly. You might just find yourself in a story as wild as Noah Nicholas's. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
And keep those questions coming. We'll be back with another deep dive soon.